Susan Parr is president of Life to the World Ministries and a sought-after speaker across the United States. Today she's joining us to share Christopher's adventures. And got this yesterday, Suzanne. Very compelling and interesting story, and really the life of a child who's not in a well way physically. Tell us a little bit about Christopher's adventures and really the purpose and the meaning behind the story.
All right. Almost a year ago, I was watching a special of a large research center on television.
Mm-hmm.
These were children with cancer, lymphoma, and other critical illnesses in the hospital. And a little girl was crying and said, "Does God hate me?"
Wow.
And it struck my heart. And I have to say and give God glory to everything that we write, because I do have a gift of rhyme, and he's used it in various ways. There was an earlier version that taught kids to pray in a rhyming adventure. Well, what God was going to do is give me a rhyming adventure where Christopher goes with the angel Matthew in his dreams to visit a hospital. He's on a mission. And in a rhyming adventure, he tells the children how much God loves them and he cares, that he loves them, loves them, loves them. No, you didn't, you didn't do something wrong. You're not sick, and you didn't get sick because of something you did. How awful. And we all go through that. We're all kids at heart. But the children, I cannot fathom. I have not had a child, a little child who's been critically ill or has long-term illness. Right. God made me know that he wanted it for the critically ill, but also for those. There are many that suffer with disease all their lives or at the young age for a long period of time. And so that's what this book is about. And the mission is to get it and get that message to those kids.
So how are you doing that? How do you get this message into kids who are in situations that seem hopeless?
Well, what I've done is I've sent one to, you have to go through the chaplaincy with hospitals, as we know.
And every hospital
has a chaplaincy, St. Jude's included, because they have more than Christians there. And so it has been sent there. It's been sent to the Stanford Medical. It's been actually the Ronald McDonald House, who were so nice to me. They said, well, we'll just put them in the room where parents can pick what they want to read. And they sent me a thank you. They were really very gracious. And I've sent them to I've just begun, and I've sent them out to all the outlets that I can think of and know of. And I've also now created an app so that perhaps even children can get it that way. Christopher's Adventures is the simple name of it. And it has both stories in rhyme so that the children can see the picture, the parents can read the rhyme, or the child can, whoever wants to. And it leads to, I have a Christopher's Adventures Facebook page.
Wow, he's all over the place.
Well, I'm doing everything I know to do. There is a Christopher'sAdventures.com where they can actually click. With Flash. You can't do that with an iPad, unfortunately, yet. But they can look at it, and their parents can read it, or they can read it. It rhymes. I've found, interestingly, in foreign countries, people love to use these books with ESL because they rhyme, and they're 550 words. And so I guess kids all over the world can know that God loves them if they're sick.
What a powerful message. You don't really think about things like that, but what must be going through a little child's mind when they're finding themselves, having to stay live in a hospital, or they've been given a terminal prognosis of a deadly disease, or told they're going to have to live with this condition for the rest of their life. All of the seeds of doubt, anxiety that the enemy of our soul would want to sow into that tender ground.
Yes, and the parents as well. Having a child like that, I heard recently there's a hospital in New Mexico where a gal raised the funds for a whole children's area. Unbeknownst to me, the name of it is, there's a Christopher wing or Christopher area. I went to see her and she loved it. Her name is Rebecca. She said that the siblings could be helped as well, because they had a family with 6 children and a 3-year-old passed away. And that the siblings could know how much, that the child didn't do anything wrong, and that they were in heaven, but that God loved this child.
The illustrations are great as well. Who did the work there and captured these emotions in animated form?
Doina's wonderful. Doina Parashev. She's illustrated both of them, but she also does not only these types of beautiful illustrations, she's done the Cabbage Patch Kids cartoons that are marvelous. She's been a part of a lot of award-winning books. She's great, Doina.
I was just going to ask about Life to the World Ministries. That's kind of what you do. Does it go beyond these writings? And what all do you do as far as reaching out to people?
When the Lord dealt with me to start Life to the World Ministries, He had asked me, I have prayer workshop, books on prayer, and other books that I have written and that I've taught on. And He, waking one morning, I thought I was just going to have devotions, and instead He wanted me to write a book for the men and women on the field in the military, which gave birth to Battlefield Prayers. The Pentagon has given it out, CENTCOM, it's in a lot of countries, and also, by the way, there are apps for most of my books now. Battlefield Prayers, Peace on the Home Front, that's another one. Look forward. And so what the Lord was saying to me, that would you like, perhaps there could be people that might like to help to get this out. And so we formed a nonprofit. So we have, so it's the ministry to the men and women on the field and in the military and in multicultural and country Christians, excuse me. And then also the children's resources, and really the vision is to be a part and come alongside many missions teams and outreaches, and prayer is the whole root and seat of the ministry, and publishing the gospel. But I'm a rapid responder to a can't sit still. So
that's excellent.
I have to be involved in everything, all forms of media, and I have friends that had the privilege of hearing Dr. Summerall many years ago tell of his story of the revival and going to the country, no one being there, and then how God did the great work in the Philippines. It was a joy to hear that on the program this morning.
Yes, and the church still continuing in such a strong fashion, over 40,000 touched each week.
Yes, and so at any rate, so I have a vision for all the countries too, and really, it's wide open to just see what the Lord will do. Food for the hungry and books for kids. I don't know.
Now, you, in the introduction at the beginning of the show today, we were talking about getting the gospel out around the world, and by all means necessary. And the comment was, you really see prayer as one of the most powerful ways of breaking down doors or plowing up ground so that the seed of the gospel can take root. What is your experience been
in
with prayer?
my 20s, I got a hold of some old Christ for the Nations Gordon Lindsay tapes. Someone gave them to me. So I listened, took notes. It was the prayer series, and he said, "He that dwelleth in the secret place shall abide under the shadow." So we're not just, I claim the secret place, or I claim your protection. He that dwells in the secret place. And he was saying it was like an hour of prayer, and so I said, at first I thought, okay, make it like my necessary food, and I divided up 10 minutes, 10 minutes. I thought, an hour, what do you do for an hour, But through the years, he's shown me what to do. And you can sit there with a cup of coffee with him, you can spend time with him, talk to him. You can sit silently, wait patiently before him. I heard a teaching in Bible school, and I've seen huge, miraculous results from waiting in the presence of God silently on behalf of the impossible. And I've seen the impossible change. And so now prayer is my main ministry. I have to say, my main ministry. So,
what are some of the things you've seen? What are some of the miracles?
Oh boy! Well, for instance, I did lead the prayer during the services for one ministry, and I told them about and taught the prayer workshop for a year at this other church. And we'd sit there. All right, I was in Bible school, and I'm hearing the message taught about, for some reason, this is the most powerful kind of prayer, just sitting quietly. Heard Kenneth Hagin Sr. say it. For some reason, waiting in the presence of God is the most powerful. He said, I've heard of intercessors praying for hours in the Spirit, and of boats being lifted onto dry land and miracles. But he said, for some reason, this is the most powerful. So I'm on the way over to Mom Goodwin's house, who was my spiritual mother. She'd written about in a number of books. And twice it comes to me, I had a friend who'd married a fellow, and they were in Jordan. He was from that country, and they couldn't get out of the country. And so twice it comes to me that if someone would wait in God's presence, that God could get them out of the country, 2 times. And so I get to the door to Mom's Goodwin's house. I was going to help her with whatever she wanted. We just hung out, and I helped her and helped clean and fix her hair, and she let me sing and go with her when she ministered a little, and she was sweet to me. She comes to the door and says, honey, I just got a phone call from Vora Lee. That was who me and this girl who had rented from during Bible school. They still can't get out of the country. And I said, Mama, let me tell you what happened. So I told her the story, and hearing the teaching, coming, she said, honey, it sounds like God to me, you better do it.
Good advice.
Yeah, so that night I go, and I'm sitting there in my room, and I'm sitting there, I've got a Bible over here, and I'm peeking, thinking, am I supposed to look at something? I said, okay, here I am.
Waiting silently in prayer.
You're the mighty God, and I am waiting in your presence on behalf of them being stuck in the country. In 2 days, they got word they're out. And then a year to the date, I was waking and had like a dream. I heard myself say, because his brother had been turned down 11 times.
For visa.
5 from Europe. You couldn't get out of the country. He wanted to come to school here.
Wow.
I wake up and I hear myself saying, Michael, I'll pray, and God can get him out of the country. I thought, oh, I don't dare. What if that's not the Lord? I don't dare say that. So I go over their house that night and I say, I bet if someone prayed, God could get him out of the country. He said, oh, thank you, thank you. Okay, and so I'm going and I'm like, oh boy. And in a couple of days, after I waited in God's presence, he got released and out to the country and came to school in the U.S.
Wow.
So
awesome.
there's been many things. Another time at the prayer service where we would pray, we got so excited about what God could do. So we prayed for the protection of the country and the governing officials, and we prayed that are we short of time? Or
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
We'll have to have you back.
Hold that.
Yeah, well, that's another miracle. Thank you so much, Susan Parr, joining us today on Harvest. Prayer makes tremendous power available. And to connect with Susan Parr, you can go to susanparr.org. Maybe it's about Christopher's adventures and making sure that children in your town, your neighborhood, your nation know the love of God towards them. Maybe it's to connect with her on the issue and level of prayer and how to pray effectively. What is silent prayer, waiting before the Lord? SusanParr.org, or you can go to harvest-tv.com. And I'll remind you as well, our prayer line is ready to speak with you as well. We'd love to hear from you today, 1-800-365-3732. Thanks for joining us here on Harvest. We'll see you tomorrow.
When you become a partner in faith with a monthly contribution to LaCie Broadcasting, you participate with us in sharing the good news of Jesus Christ through Prayer Line, International Shortwave Radio, Middle East Television, Spread the Word Bible Distributions, World Harvest Television on DirecTV, LaCie's local Christian television stations, and much more. If you're not yet a part of this effort of spreading the Great Commission to the ends of the earth, consider becoming a partner in faith today with LaCie Broadcasting. Call the number 1-800-365-3732 or visit the partnerinfaith.com website on the screen. You can join hands with us for as little as $25 a month. Please do it today and know that in doing so, you become a vital part of this ministry and reap the benefits of partnership.
If your health is important enough to you to buy your vitamins and minerals online, you really should check out Making Healthy Choices. Millions of Americans choose Making Healthy Choices as their first choice for vitamin and mineral products because MHCLife.com features all the best products at prices you can afford. Also, MHCLife.com is the only online source for mineral concentrate, the unsurpassed fulvic acid trace mineral product that is exclusive to Making Healthy Choices. Check out MHCLife.com now.
The Harvest Show is produced by LaCie Broadcasting and is viewer supported by people just like you. Thank you for inviting us into your home today.